There we go. Look at you. Being so cute. Whoop. I want to see if I can stick this sticker somewhere. I think I'll stick it right here. That right there probably work. Yeah. Here or actually here will work. Yeah. There we go. Oh, it's actually smaller than I thought. Okay. Awesome. So I should probably... Okay. There we go. You happy might get mine next month? Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, I remember saying you had like a little like cost of living adjustment and shit, so now you're making at least $1,000 now. So that's definitely obviously good. There we go. Got a new sticker on there now. Well, what did I do with it? Where did it go? I literally just that. Oh, there it is. Country music guitar? I mean, I know bluegrass. I mean, at least a little bit, that kind of crunchy bluegrass twang. Actually, I do not want any of this fucking shit on me while I'm doing this, because I'm starting to sweat already. 5 minutes, I'm like in and I'm sweating already. Like, yeah, okay, getting this off, layers off. I don't want to start sweating in this. Off. Actually, what I'm legit thinking about is taking my whole next paycheck and paying off the Xbox. Well, at that point, at least then your next paychecks after that can go into strictly other shit. And you won't have to be straining your fucking, money over. 150, and well, you'd still have money left over from next month. I'd probably pay at least like 70% of it. Like pay like 600 of that, and then the next month pay the last of it off. Because then you'll at least still have some shit, for this next month, So. I was wondering why that was off. Where's my tuner? That's in tune. That's in tune, but I'll just do a slight sharp on that. That's fine. That's fine. That's flat. That's fine. There we go. That's better. Okay, I want my hat back on. I'm like, delayer, I'm getting hot and sweaty. Mom spaghetti, and now I'm just like, oh wait a minute, now I'm actually cold. What I missed last night? Anything spicy? I mean, I'm sure. I know, fucking... I mean, there wasn't really, like, too much. I mean, we really didn't, like, delve into, like, super political shit necessarily. I mean, the closest we really did was, like, Jordan Peterson shit, I guess. I think I remember at one point, like, there was, like, a body positivity convo in there or something. Though, to be fair, a lot of these topics have been kind of reoccurring topics the last couple days. So I feel like, the things that we talked about yesterday were also some similar shit from the last couple days. So, honestly, that's kind of why I'm just, like, forcing a kind of total different change by, having tunes. Because you can't fucking have a topic when someone's, doing that. But, eventually I was going to go to the bar with some homies, and I've been itching to play pool anyway for a while, so I'm just like, fuck it, I'll go. But they're all going to meet up around like 9:30ish about, so, basically like I do before work, to have just an hour or so to chill, just kind of fuck around and whatever. Hey, don't be like that. Hold on, let me do this real quick. Let me pull some shit up now. My plan is to get the fuck out of Bama is back on, but it'll be a long time before I can go. I mean, I remember a couple, like, I remember telling you at some point, I forgot when, but I know, like, some point last week, and I'm pretty sure it was on a stream where I mentioned, it's like, sometimes, opportunities and those outs and those doors, it's like you could see them and they're there, but they're not, like, open yet. But they're not, like, totally locked and you can't go through them either. It's like they're unlocked and you could either force that door open and go through and, You know, like, basically just, like, hope for the best, or you can just wait for that door to open on its own, then you can just, like, casually waltz right through and not give a fuck. And it would be a lot easier. Instead of bursting through that door trying to, like, break through because, you know, you're desperate to go through that door. You know, as long as, like, you know, like, there's a, you know, some virtue to, like, kind of biding your time a little bit. I mean, time is at the essence, but at the same time, you know, it kind of depends on what it is. Okay, I'm gonna play something because I don't want to stay delayered like this while I'm just sitting here talking, so hold on. Because I need something to keep my body moving. So hold on, let me, I'm doing something now. Let's see, let's see, I know there's a tune. You know what, I'll save one of those for later. Too simple and too short. Go. Look at the Richard posted and applies to mine. Oh my god, alright. You know what? Alright, I'll click that first before I delve into this. Should invest in Trump NFT? Why? No. Hey! Why is this dystopian? There's something wrong with any couple being able to have a child with their DNA if he's developed autonomously. Not what? Watch a commercial for an artificial womb facility that aims to grow babies in a factory. And aside from assisted suicide, this is the most dystopian thing I've seen. Assisted suicide is not dystopian. That's actually like a fucking good thing, actually. Because there's people that are terminally ill, like, live up to 90 fucking years old, have literally nothing else going for them now at this point. Pretty much literally don't got family anymore and shit. You know, all this other stuff. Like, there's actual meritable reason for that. I'd say that it's a little fucked up if a 21-year-old or some shit. It's like, can I, you know, have this suicide? Yeah, it's like, yeah, no, like, there's far more other options, unless it's the same circumstance. Like, they're terminally ill, they're gonna die in, like, 5 years or some shit. You know, they just don't want to go for it. Like, there's absolute meritable cases for assisted, you know, suicide laws. And Oregon has one of them. I think we're one of the only states in the U.S. that has that law. Outside of, like, one or two others, I think Massachusetts, I think, has a law like that. But I think Oregon's literally, like, one of the 2 or 3 states that has it in the U.S. Either way, though, oh, wait, not to mention this could lead to being able to iron out potential birth defect. Yeah, like, the whole, like, artificial womb thing. I mean, plus you would be able to more physically see, you know, like, potential physical and genetic defects and shit. There's a lot of variables that come into play that could actually make artificial wombs actually far better and healthier for human development. And safer, because women straight die and have, like, long-term health complications and shit due to births. Like, that does happen. And it's not good. So, it's like, hold on, this dog wants to go outside. And that means I'm gonna have to layer the fuck up anyway. You fucking dog. You fuck. Like, you have to be an annoying little bitch. Like, seriously? I did not want to layer up because I'm in a fucking house. But your little faggot ass wants to just, like, run outside for some reason. God. It's wet. It's raining. Why do you give a shit? Why do you want to be out here? It's wet. It's raining. Why do you give a fuck? God damn, dog. Just so, like, all the time. It's like, goddamn, bro. It's wet, it's raining. It's like you tried going outside earlier and you want nothing to do with it. In Alabama, suicide is a crime and the fine passes to your next of kin. That's just fucked up. Oh, it's illegal to kill yourself. Oh, hey, your family member killed yourself. You get the crime then. It's just like, that makes no sense and that's retarded. It's just like, oh, well, guess what? The family gets to be in guilt and, you know, it gets to be punished because of somebody else didn't want to live. It's like, dude, get the fuck out of that state, bro. Like, Jesus Christ, that's dystopian. Like, that fucking other dude being like, artificial wombs, assisted suicide is dystopian, that's fucking dystopian. Being like, hey, someone you know killed themselves and it's in part of your family, you get the crime and the penalty and the punishment for it, even though you had fuck all to do with it. I mean, honestly, if it's like a parent or some shit, like, oh, like my gay trans teenage daughter in Alabama fucking off themselves in their room. If anything, those parents are probably complicit of their fucking dominionist far-right Christian bullshit. So it's just like, oh, you know, like, put the, you know, it's like, I guess that would be a rare circumstance where maybe blaming, you know, or putting the crime else on someone else would have been meritable. But it's like, oh no, it's like, nah, let's not worry about the trans kid or whatever. We're gonna, like, find literally everybody else around them. And even then, if, like, the parents were at fault for it, I still wouldn't even necessarily charge them for that unless they were directly involved. And at that point, it wouldn't be a suicide, it'd be a murder. So, you know, it's just like, there's, even then, if it's, like, hardcore far-right Christians and shit, and their kid, like, offed himself, and, I'd still blame the parents, and I hope they get mocked and scorned and feel guilty for it, but I wouldn't charge them as a fucking crime. Like, the crime of, you know, having the guilt of, you know, of the trauma of their kid dying is enough. Trying to get a manager position at a local AutoZone, 20 to 25 an hour in benefits. Well, up here, that ain't bad. Like, PICs, at my store, they make about 20, 21 an hour, plus bennies. Thing is, if he gets that job, he probably won't be moving. Well, they probably won't. It says you. Here. That's how I was gonna play something, so I'm good. Yeah, damn it. Actually, I want to make sure it's not too loud. I always... I either get these, like, too loud or too low. Actually, I usually make these too quiet. Yeah, that's a little too quiet. See, I always do it. I always do these things a little too quiet. Though, to be fair, I'm sure, like, the phone mic probably catches it anyway. What you doing? Yeah, you, prick. I want to fly to Oregon from Bama. That's a hell of a flight by myself, and I'm kind of a pussy. Man, for me being a shelter kid, I really must not be afraid of much. Because, like, well, to be fair, I did, like, go on planes by myself when I was, like, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. I'm not kidding. Like, I'd go on plane rides by myself at, like, straight up, like, fucking, you know, like, 8 to 9, 10, shit like that. And go to Montana and shit. So, like, I'd do that shit. I was doing, like, I was being an independent, like, little fucking adult, being on a plane and shit, and doing that whole shebang, like, as a little kid. I mean, so, honestly, like, for me, I'm just like, oh, plane? Well, whatever, who cares? You know, it's like, oh, I get to go on a flight? Cool. You know, that's, like, how I think about it. It's like, I mean, it's like, I get it. Like, I mean, I have a friend who is never flown in their life, has never been in the air on a plane before, and he's definitely scared of getting on a plane too. But here's the thing, though. Like, you don't, like, here's something that can at least kind of give you a reassurance. Flying is actually one of the most safest forms of travel. It statistically and factually is, like, straight up. Because also there's, mainly just because, you know, there's a lot of rules, regulations into it, not just with the pilots and, you know, them being around and shit and their qualifications, but also when it comes to manufacturing and shit, and when it comes to the production of these things. Like, when the 737 MAX shit was, you know, like, when that, when Boeing was trying to cut, you know, some of the regulations and shit of that, when it comes to that type of shit, it, like, it gets called out and fucking quick. Because, I mean, that's 737 MAX shit when, like, when one plane dropped, it's like, oh shit, maybe it was a one-off. When the second one dropped in Ethiopia, I think there was the first one. I think it was a Korean Airlines, and then there was Ethiopian Airlines. And as soon as that happened, they grounded every fucking plane, and they pretty much like brought them all back to like fucking factories and shit to actually be properly retrofitted and actually properly built up like they should have been. Yeah, so it's just like, and now, I mean, there's 737 MAX aircraft that, are back in service, but don't have these problems anymore. The main reason why is because the computer systems in those aircraft, they came as a separate package when you bought them. If you're an airline and you were wanting to upgrade some of your older, fleet of aircraft and wanted to replace them, and you wanted to buy some of those, buying some of the extra, some of the computers that kind of are supposed to be standard in those fucking things came as a separate package. That's why some of these airlines had these planes crash and shit, and that's why it became such a big uproar years back. So, I mean, when it comes down to it, like, car manufacturers can get away with whatever fucking loopholes and shit they pretty much can. Like, there could be thousands of fucking accidents, hundreds of deaths, and, it would probably be until there's at least like 1,000 some deaths before they recall that shit. But when it comes to a plane, as soon as there's at least like 2 or more, they ground that shit, and that fucking shit gets pulled quick and gets retrofitted so they're actually properly safe and pass inspection. So it's like, they don't fuck around when it comes to planes. So that shit legit is very safe. I'm not scared of flying. I'm scared of missing my flight because I don't know the airport the last flight dumped me at. I tend to bump myself when I'm by myself. When you bump over yourself. I mean, I do too a lot of the ways, but I mean, when it comes to airports, I mean, yeah, they can be tricky to, navigate. I mean, I've been to airports I've only been to literally once ever. I've been to San Jose's airport once ever, and luckily it's actually pretty easy to navigate. I've been to Orlando's airport once. That shit's just... from what little I remember, because I was like 8 or 9 at the time, from what little I remember, that shit was a maze. Los Angeles, the Los Angeles International Airport is a fucking labyrinth. Like, that is an unironic goddamn labyrinth. Like, I've been there once, and I was like, baggage claim, okay, go down this way. Wait a minute, why is there the same baggage claim over here, too? That hallway also says, wait, there's 2 baggage, wait, what? It's like, there's 2 baggage claims. Like, I'm not even kidding, there's like 2 hallways that went separate directions that led to different baggage claims, basically. I'm just like, okay, which one do I take? Luckily, they're all connected, so whichever one I took, I would have eventually found my shit, but, like, still, it's just like, bruh, shit was a labyrinth, dude. And it was all, like, long-ass hallways, too, from what I remember. At least when you're, like, leaving to get to, like, the main entrance area. But still, it's just, like, if you don't know where you're going, you will get lost in that shit. So, I mean, I get it. But, I mean, that's why you want to, like, look at, your ticket, where the specific, numbers are of, like, your gate and all that type of stuff. And just keep following that shit and just fuck everything else off. Like, pretend nothing else exists besides what you're, the specific markers you're looking for. I mean, and then once you find your terminal, and set yourself down, see how long you have to wait. And if it's a pretty decent wait, like you have to wait an hour or two, like at that point, usually I'll go exploring a little bit because now I at least know where it is. And I can, see some shops and shit, so I can go down to a shop if I want to get some food or something like that. So... withholds rents and utilities. I'm going to ask her for at least 800 out of the 110. I do think she overcharged me for rent utilities, but I'm not about to argue with my mother about money. Yeah, I mean, chances are there's a possibility that she probably is, but, I mean, it's, what can you do? Poor people could work more than themselves at party. South Korea, the president considers an increase in working hours of up to 80 hours a week. South Korea is continuing to show that as a capitalist system. Yeah, South Korea, like, Europe, Iceland. Hey, let's, decrease the work hours to 6 hours a day and 4 days a week. South Korea. Let's bump that bitch up to 11 and make it 80 hours a week, bitch. You get to work literally twice as much as everybody else. Oh, 40 hours a week, bitch. That's a double. It's hyper-capitalist. Yeah, they are. Like, honestly, Japan and South Korea are hyper-capitalist as fuck. Like, very hyper-capitalist and shit. And Also, very socially conservative. Like, legit, really socially conservative. Especially South Korea. Like, things like LGBT rights and stuff like that. You know, despite being, you know, liberal, democratic, you know, social democracy or whatever the fuck, it's very socially conservative and very hyper exploitative when it comes to their labor force, domestically and shit. So they're, you know, as much of a social democracy, you know, and very modern and Western they, you know, perceive themselves as, is actually, in a way, not a good thing. A lot of that actually ended up being not good for a lot of the average commoners that live there. Good for the rich fucks that have always been there and, you know, have the silver spoons in their mouths just like everywhere else, but, you know, for the commoners, not really. This is the one move there, but I've seen horror stories about how racist South Korea is towards Europeans, Americans. Yeah, I've heard that too. I don't know about, like, how bad it is. I just know that I've heard about that before. I'm still on that first way I showed you. Who wants people to be deaf? I don't know. Wait. Oh, this? Resist. Wait. Hashtag resist. Wait. I don't know what this means. Resist, and it's the female reproductive system with a fist inside of it. I'm confused. I honestly don't know what, yeah, I don't know what that means. I'm assuming it's meant to be, like, a feminist symbol, I'm assuming, like, but I think they missed the mark. It's more symbolic of, like, yeah, you're going, like, resist and get fisted or something. I don't know. Twata. Gotta love the twatas. Someone else flat accused me of wanting to do eugenics. Because, you know, having severe and, like, you know, terminal genetic defects and shit within the human genome is probably a good thing to just kind of keep, you know, lingering around. Great idea, you know? See, ethics on it, but not for a while. It's, you know, up to parents if the parents happen to be deaf and pass it on. So, for... Oh my god, what is going on? Someone told me I wanted kids to be born deaf. They would rightfully think I was fucking insane. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's like, hey, you know, it's like, let's kids be born deaf, you know, or like, hey, there's like a genetic factor that makes kids born blind or something, or like they're born without eyes, you know, which I think actually is a thing, because I know there is like a lot of, technically, like, genetic defects that tend to do a lot of underdevelopment and shit, so sometimes there would be babies that straight up don't have, like, fully developed bases and shit, so they actually straight don't have, like, some of the, you know, facial features, like eyes and shit like that. So, honestly, that does happen, you know, so it's like, oh, but, you know, that's totally fine. I mean, but, no, honestly, it's because that baby does not gonna live for, like, at most, probably a week. I mean, and with a lot of, you know, medical treatment or medical care and dependency, probably a couple months, but you're just prolonging unnecessary suffering. I mean, that's really kind of the broader point of it. It's just like, I mean, you know, it's just like preventing just absolute unnecessary suffering and shit. I'm seeing wrong birth photos, that shit is haunting. Yeah, I have too. Like, honestly, there was, like, I know on, like Science Channel and then, like, you know, the Discovery Channel and all that shit, they would have, like, some shows that would be about, like, you know, some rare shit, you know, like, rare medical conditions, you know, that would happen in humanity and stuff, right? Like, a lot of them would be, like, crazy-ass shit, like, you know, some serious, like, physical, you know, defect type of stuff. and like, these people would survive at least, or still be alive up to a, certain amount of age, and, basically would have like some of the best like surgeons, doctors and shit, be taking care of them and stuff. And honestly, it's just like, I mean, in a lot of ways, it's like, for some of these people, they definitely can at least live fairly, normal lives, despite that and shit, because of those things. But a lot of these people, unfortunately, aren't able to because of, a lot of these factors. It's not that bad for me. I get at the cuss at her if I ever hear him, and it's hilarious. My bad for that. Not really. I've kind of cussed people out where they can't hear me. I'm just like, you fucking son of a bitch. And they're just sitting there like, yeah. Just like looking at something else on the phone or some shit, just like, I'm just like, you dumbass motherfucker. Just saying that, just murmuring it, but they can't hear it. They probably just think I went, They probably just think I went like that, like a little sigh and a little, to me, eugenics would be, let's create some Aryan-looking people. And yeah, that, and also, like, straight up, like, systemic, erasure and elimination of just straight up groups of people. Not weeding out, genetic deformities and shit like that, or, like, severe genetic mutations within the human genome. Like, to me, eugenics is not that, it's the other shit. Like, where it's systemically, like, erasing, like, suave chunks of, like, pretty much like the human genome and, like, the human species to an extent, because they're not the proper, genes and the proper humans or something. So it's just like, you got that, and that is what I, would consider eugenics, because America, like, is what kind of started that shit. I mean, some people forget, but Nazi Germany actually took a lot of their eugenics and grand 1,000-year Reich plan and shit from America's manifest density and their treatment of the Native Americans and shit. They straight up took inspiration from that. So honestly, it's just like, I mean, a lot of that really kind of comes down to, like, some of America's early sociological science and shit, really. Or science, I should say. Because it, like, I mean, because honestly, if you think, like, like, Nazi eugenics is bad, look at early American eugenics. It is fucked. Like, it is legit, seriously, even more fucked than, like, the Nazis were. Like, I don't even know how to explain it without sounding just fucked up myself. Because honestly, I mean, they straight up thought of, like, Native Americans as not even, like, Homo sapiens. They literally thought them of as, like, some different species of, like, primate, basically. Like, that's literally what they thought of them as. Same thing with black people and shit. They also thought of them as, like, a hairless, like, they literally thought of them as, like, a hairless, primate that, has been around, like, in Africa or some shit. Like, pseudo-scientific shit like that. Like, I mean, again, it sounds fucked. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it besides just, like, bluntly, that's what it was. And they would just use that as a justification to do a lot of the weird, like, scientific, quote-unquote, experimentation and a lot of the fucking dehumanization, of these people overall. I mean, hence why, a lot of ways, the American Atlantic slave trade and shit was so, like, heavily systemic, not just out of, like, profit motive, too, but also out of, like, literally, like, if they were doing, like, animal agriculture. Like, so, and this is also kind of why, to some extent, at least, in a lot of ways, black slaves actually had, like, better things like strength, dental hygiene, and stuff like that, in comparison to their white counterparts in the South and shit, because they were kind of, a lot of, these southern plantation owners and shit were looking at those type of traits and shit, and being like, I want to make sure that's passed down so they can haul and produce more shit. And better teeth means they won't get sick because they won't get a dental infection or some shit, so they won't have less likely to die. So, You know, it's basically, to them, they just see a cost-benefit analysis. You know, so in a lot of ways, funny enough, a lot of, you know, black people, despite being slaves at the time, actually were probably more stronger and, you know, more physically, like, you know, fit, and also a lot more healthier in comparison to the white counterparts in the South. Like, unironically. Just because of that. I mean, it's why, leading up to the Civil War, there was a lot of slave rebellions and shit. Because a lot of them kind of recognized that. And were like, we could literally overpower these fucking people. They just have guns. We just have to overpower them and take their guns. I mean, that's where people like John Brown came into play, to help organize some of these people too. Or at least the ones that were able to be freed. You know, to help liberate the other ones. And then Harper's Ferry, you know, happened, and unfortunately that was a failure, but John Brown's, you know, body ends up, you know, living on to this day because of that. What's this? Yule traditions. Pinecone wishes, Yule bells, Yule log, wreath, ghost stories. Nice. I know Yule logs, and like, pretty much anything, if it has like Yule in the name, it's basically been appropriated by pagans at one point. What's this one? Mom, Dad. You, but why is Santa? Earlier. I want to be just like Batman. Oh. No. So that implies that Santa Claus is the Joker. It's all according to plan. Ho, ho, ho there, little bitch. Oh my god, imagine the Joker being Santa. Well, Christmas presents will probably, at least like 50% of the world's, like, presents will be given to at least 50% of the world, and the other half will wonder where the fuck they presents are, and they'll probably just get like some Joker card or something. Joker claws, Joker claws. I got told I'm basically a TERF if I buy the upcoming Harry Potter game. Yeah, you're a fucking transphobic, bigoted, anti-fucking LGBT trash if you buy that game, sir. I mean, for one, no you're not, and for two, like, I'm pretty sure the video game itself is totally separate from J.K. Rowling as a person anyway, so, you know, like, yeah, she probably gets some royalty out of it, but, like, whatever. Like, I mean, the game's separate from her, so, like, who cares, you know? But I guess, you know, for a lot of these other weirdos, it, you know, like, well, not weirdos, I guess. I mean, you know, like, for a lot of, you know, people, it matters a little too much. To the point where they kind of get to be a little weirdo about it. Like, just fuck on J.K. Rowling. Like, I mean, the game isn't the problem. It's J.K. Rowling, you know? Like, that's the issue. It's not a video game. Pirate it. Yeah, do that too. I mean, if there's a possibility where she might get some royalties out of that game or something, then yeah, just pirate the fucking thing. There we go. Story's a little problematic because the story's about you stopping a goblin rebellion. The goblins are Jews in Harry Potter. Well, then that's... So basically, like, the game is, like, doing anti-Semitism? I mean, if that's the case, then that might be a little different. That's not, like, TERF shit, though. I mean, but even then, that's just more, like, sussy than anything. It's like, odd. That's what it looks like, Lamau. Well, I mean, to me, that's more like, just sussy. Venom confirmed Hitler lover. Yep, he's like Kanye now. Venom is just Kanye West now. Because he's buying Harry Potter, the video game. Can't really get that high up. I can't really get that high up. I got, like... Fuck. Technically, the G's meant to be played like this. And I have to, like, switch over here to get up here. But then I can't go down here. Because I need my index finger. Ah! I wish I had just like polydactylism, so I had like that 6 little digit, so I can kind of play around a little bit. There's actually a guitarist and a musician that actually have polydactylism. I forgot what his name was, because actually my genetics teacher in high school showed me it, because we were talking about like a part of the unit, at least in this point, about different like, like kind of different like genetic mutations and stuff like that, and some of them being more benign and stuff like polydactylism and shit. And he was showing us an artist, and actually one of the back of his album covers is actually just his hand sticking out, but because he has polydactylism, he actually has that 6 finger there. And honestly, like, while we were all listening to the song, we were all just kind of staring at the album cover. None of us ever noticed that up until he actually pointed it out. And we're just like, oh! And they're like, oh yeah, I see it! But because of that, and especially being a guitarist as a musician, he was able to, like, let's say doing some G chord shit, he can actually have an extra digit, and because of that, have a cheat code to play a little bit more up here if you wanted to. Bastard. Because I really got, like, there's no, fuck. Yeah, there isn't a way to do it. Unless, Oh, maybe the thumb, yeah, I could, no. Yeah, I would have to do the index in the middle, but then I would have to, like, somehow switch back, man, dude, that's gonna be, man, the pain of being a guitarist sometimes. It's a little tricky. Was good, but kind of disappointing in my opinion, because it starts Jake with the guy first movie and Gorilla gets humans, and the movie turns into a family flick. So it ends up being like an action flick for like the first like quarter of the movie, and then it's just like family flick shit after that. Oh, free-ish review. I mean, it's like a general, very quick synopsis. I mean, I already know that, like, the Force clan, or at least, the one that Jake's with, goes to the Ocean clan and stuff. I mean, because in the first movie, that's kind of established. Like, if you remember from the first flick, because when he unites all the different tribes and the groups and shit, to lead like a full-on like big battle and shit. Like, I mean, it's already kind of established that these other Na'vi are around and these other clans are around and shit. So, I mean, I don't know. So people were saying to boycott because it disrespects natives. No, how? No, it literally doesn't. Like, if anything, it highlights them a little bit in a way, like it did with the first movie. Like, I mean, it's, huh? I mean, I'm sure the second movie's like general broad premise about like the natives on the planet are still the same. Like, I mean, I'm not seeing it not because of that, but because not for me. Well, I liked the first movie, and I just, just wish it wasn't like this fucking long until it came out. But whatever. I heard the director's cut is supposedly 9 hours long. Like the original, the cut version overall, like the one that's in theaters, like 3.5 hours. But apparently, the director's cut is supposedly 9 fucking hours long. Humans have technology to clone you and give your clone your memories and use it to back clone soldiers as avatars. So, like, espionage shit. Which, honestly, that kind of sounds a little symbolic of, like, MK Ultra shit or something, like, with the CIA or something like that, using, like, agents, as, like, spies or double agents and stuff like that. Kind of sounds a little reminiscent to some shit like that, possibly. You know what? I know a fun little tune I could play. Here we go. Ugh. I'm one for eager to see what atrocities capitalism will do in space. No, I just want to escape to the one place that capitalism hasn't encroached on yet. Space. Just take Tim Murphy, logic fit. In space. Dude, I love that little fucking scene. Such a fun. I just love that those live action little skits in Red Alert 2 and Command and Conquer. Like, man, I love how they got George Takei for it. Tim Murray or Tim Murphy, Murphy or Murray? I think it's Tim Murphy or Tim Murray. Right? Yeah, right here. All right, I gotta make sure. Yeah, it's Tim Murray. I'm pretty sure. Oh, Tim Curry. Why did I think of Murray? It's Tim Curry. Tim Curry and George Takei. Dude, those two were just like the best in that. And there was a few other ones, but I can't remember their names entirely. It's like through a time vortex in a spaceship 10,000 years in the future. All I see is Mars with a golden M on it. Oh, God. No. Please, God, no. I'm gonna play this one, Fat Man. Let's see if I still have it. Turn this one up. Actually, play it. There we go. Toys for Rattler was originally a prequel to Tiberian Dawn. I know, because you've told me before.
Well, I can feel spirit building, soft as whisper, the loudest roar. I can feel something stirring, like I never had before. We've been running too long.
I wish I had a monster of a haul between. Well, I do, and I do as well. Below that is, on top of it. So, Fast McDonald's, Clown Cooks, yes, that is what? No, Mention fast world, but only restaurant poor people can afford is McDonald's. Oh God. Well, that would just be unleashing the fucking golden horde of revolution on them. The golden and bloody red horde of the revolution shall be upon them. I don't know this song, but I want to at least have it played a little. Because maybe I might be able to figure it out.
Well, let me introduce myself. Is my name. I'm a management consultant. Union busting is my game. I'm a master of the con job. I'm an expert at the hoax. And I make my living stealing bread from the mouths of working folks. I'm a union buster. The bosses trust the aid. I help keep their employees overworked and underpaid. He's a union buster. The bosses trust the aid. He helps keep their employees overworked and underpaid. Nowadays we use gun thugs, we use geeks, pinks, and blues. Nowadays we use fancy words, but we sing the same old tune. Pitting folks against each other, spreading hatred, fear, and lies. Cutting down the hopes of workers who we're trying to organize. I'm a union buster, the bosses trust the aid.
It's that part I need
their employees overworked and underpaid. He's a union buster, the bosses trust the aid. He helps keep their employees overworked and underpaid. When I was young, I used to fight with kids one half my size. I pulled the legs off bugs and spiders and the wings off butterflies. Now I've grown to be a man, I haven't changed at all. I still step on the underdog, the humble and the small. I'm a union buster, the bosses trust the aid. I help keep their employees overworked and underpaid. He's a union buster, the bosses trust the aid. He helps keep their employees overworked and underpaid.
I'm pretty sure it's G, A, and D. Pretty sure it's just those notes or chords.
Jack London tells the story God was working in his brain, and from some hateful substance he made my apprentice stand. He gave some of that awful stuff a graduate degree. He put it in a three-piece suit, that's how he made me. I'm a union buster, the bosses trust the aid. I help keep their employees overworked and underpaid. He's a union buster, the bosses trust the aid. He helps keep their employees overworked and underpaid.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, because I know it's D. That's the root. That's the root note, and then it goes down. Those are the first main chord notes. And then it's. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the lick of it. Something like that. Might need to learn about that one a little more, but I'm pretty sure those are the main gists. I know there's a G in there. And then the A. And obviously the D. Gotta have that D. But at least know this Joe Glazer song. It's only 2 chords. Easy little song. Very fun. I don't know, ignore the Union Buster. The bus is handmade or something like that. I mean, if you heard the lyrics, it's not exactly speaking about that Union Buster very fondly at all. I mean, want to listen to it again? Just to prove it? I mean, there's a lot of pro-union songs that are talking pretty adamantly, or not really adamantly, but more negatively about the scab. And Feeney has one. It's actually a very jazzy song. Ooh. It's kind of like proto. Wow, she's a lot more powerful than the music. She's her own bumping ensemble, but honestly, it's kind of like early doom jazz almost, because of just that like raunchy, like, you know, sound to it. Ugna is a scab. Ugnar? I don't know. Maybe. I'm just kidding. I know Bart. Scabs are up, unity is apart. We might be a reptilian. Yours feels like ice in your brains. See, the reptilians, they're not like, you know, some other weird thing. They're just shit for brain scabs. Dude, Anthony's fearless on this one. She don't give a fuck. She's like, I'm gonna call you like every lowly thing I could think of in this song. Scared. Our community is apart. Never saw the other unions. We tell you conditions were bad.
Understaffed, overworked, underpaid, till we finally got mad. But then when we walked out to protect our rights, they just gave away our jobs. Parasites.
Well, see, that's why, you know, being a musician is a positive, because usually people just throw you on you. They're just like, yes. Oh, you actually have talent on an instrument? I surrender to you. It's just like, alright, well, I guess that's easy.
Like a cute watching coworkers turned into weasels and traitors. They must be pod people, hatched by those corporate raiders and insider traders. You know our labor laws are crazy, they're so damn two-faced. They say I haven't been fired, just permanently replaced by scab.
Drummer never gets laid. That's not always true.
The lowest form of life.
I've known drummers that getting laid. It's always singer or guitarist. But now you're saying that bassists don't get laid. And that ain't true. Because I play bass too. See, that's also another little caveat. If you want to spread those odds and chances, play more than one instrument. Honestly, that in itself already increases the odds. Not only do you play one instrument, you play multiple. Bass, basically guitar. Yes, but it's still its own definition of a separate instrument. Because there's different types of bass instruments. And bass guitar is a part of that category of bass instruments. While this guitar isn't. I can't work a guitar worth of shit. You don't have to have just a guitar. Shit, you can have things like you can have one like a harmonica or something, you know? You know, like bongos, Kowloon drums, like percussion instruments. You know, let's look at this. Speaking of music, since we're kind of all in music mood in a little bit, or at least I am. Everyone gangster till trombone start talking. Okay, where's the full? All right, where's that full performance? I gotta see that full performance. Yeah, give me that original video. I gotta see this in its full-tality. Oh, I knew that theme. It's Don't Mean a Thing. It's such a good piece. Ocarina. Do me a thing if you ain't got the swing. Don't be a thing. All you gotta do is swing.
Makes no difference if it's sweet, hot. Just give that rhythm, give it everything you got.
I don't need a thing. You ain't got that swing. This is a good version of the song. Oh, there's that little clip. Never really spoke to me like it did my grandfather. Dude, I love swing. Dude, whenever we had jazz pieces, oh, especially when he does that. I mean, like, honestly, whenever we had swing pieces in jazz ensemble in high school, oh my god, I loved them. They were my favorite type of jazz, honestly. Oh, you straight up at, oh! If you didn't know you were queer. Well, good thing it ain't that hard to hide it, I guess. For me, at least. Whoa! No. Hey! What's he doing over there? Hold the fuck up. What was that guy doing back there? What's he doing in his job? My goodness. Man, these guys are just like vibing, dude. Ooh. Alright, that definitely, most certainly deserves a like, because goddamn, that right there was a good piece. That right there was a good song. Or at least a good performance of it, especially. Because, damn. When the ghosts and start flying. Oh, there's another one from this channel. This one looks like a trumpet. Yep, it is. Oh, wow, what's that mouthpiece? Oh, holy shit, dude, look at that. Dude, wow, that is a really cool looking trumpet. Ooh. You know, I probably could perform this. I mean, I have a trumpet, so... Oh. Ooh. Damn, that was nice. So game breaking drum glitch. Hope they don't patch this. Don't worry, that's a patch that never gets fixed. Because it's one that we put in ourselves. I mean, it's honestly really awesome and really crazy how just like, and also depending on what you're using, normally it's a plunger and usually it's literally just the end piece of a plunger. But sometimes you can use different things or different mutes and things like that, and that's one of them. That's a type of mute. And you just literally, depending on where you put it around the end of the bell, that will straight up change the entire tone or the entire sound of a note. And you can do some funky, crazy shit with it, and it's so awesome. Dude, I love mutes and playing with those type of things. I love that shit. Let's see. I'm sure there has to be another one in here we could check out. Let's see. There's that. When you hit puberty, but it never ends. Dude, I love these guys. I love this dude's titles. Whoa.
I'm going over Jordan.
Dude, his voice, bro.
I am going over
Damn, dude. I mean, I'm pretty sure obviously it ended for that dude, but I think it ended late. I don't even think I could go that low.
Jordan.
Yeah, I could go that low. I don't know about that low, though, like coming up here. Yeah, dude, that's like way lower than for me. Oh, like I could barely like touch that. I could hit that like, yeah, I could hit that like like, but I can't really do it like very well, but I can kind of hit it. But that low, like, I mean, he's got like a quarter octave lower, set going on there or some shit. Damn, there's no way this man's voice is lower than my grade. Damn. Oof. Yeah, but I like this channel because also they have the transcript of the notes and the song there, at least for the pieces that they're showing for the clips and stuff, and I really like that, honestly. Kind of gives you an idea of like, hey, if you want to try to learn that particular thing that was shown as a clip, have at it, because I mean, at least some of the ones where they show trumpet, I probably could, depending on how hard they are. Like some of them aren't really too hard. It's more about just like something that they're doing, more so than the actual like song itself. like the everyone gangster till the trombone talking, like that's straight up like skill right there. That's just not like just playing the song. That's also like being so skilled at his instrument that he's literally speaking through it. I have never been able to do that. Like, I mean, I could kind of like add like little growls and stuff like that, and shit. I've been able to do that, but never like straight up like being able to hear like, I mean, it sounds so like whoppy, but it's still, it's like, what the fuck? It's like, that's straight fucking talent on top of just knowing the song. But it's something that can't be done, obviously, with enough skill and time. Look at my Telegram. Looks like my homeboy be a little late at the pub. Offered a ride, but I think I'll be good on that. Because it's not even that far of a walk for me anyway. It actually ain't raining really too hard anymore right now. It was actually raining pretty good earlier. Hold on, just let me do this. There we go. But, here. Is there any other comments I might have missed? I know. Been up to date with that. That's good. Oh, look at you, little sleepy boy. Oh, what a goofball. Why do you have to be cute? Even when you're just sitting there looking bored. Ah, what the fuck did I just click? Ah, get out of here. Go away. Here, I just wanted to do this, just so we can look at him. The only time where he's photogenic is where he's not paying attention and being sleepy. Little goofy baby. Because it's raining all, it's been raining all day. He doesn't want to go outside, so now he's all like, it's wet, and I don't want to be wet. I don't like being wet. Which I don't necessarily blame him, but I mean, he's like straight up a pussy about water. It's kind of funny. A goof. Damn. The company Reese's, just laying it down on us. What you got, ain't real? Man, you go for high-paying jobs. The doctor just always women go for living jobs like female doctor, female engineer, Damn Reese's. Damn Reese's cups. That must have been like when the memery was really at its peak with all that shit. Because I remember seeing a lot of like parody accounts and a lot of parody memes, but I don't think I saw that one. Damn. Love it. If your head's slooped over like that, it looks like you're just so sad. Probably is. He's probably like, I don't get treats. I don't get to have any treats, goddammit. Boo. I bet if I crinkled this bag, he'll light up. You know what? Let's just see. I knew it. Oh my god. Wow. Wow, he lit up so quick over that. He's like, what's that over there, huh? What you got over there? Oh, look at you. You goof. Yeah, just take it. Just accept it for being adorable. Wow, what a silly little bastard, dude. You're ridiculous. You're just a silly boy. You're a goober, you know that? You're a little psycho mutt. Look at you. Yeah. Anyway. See if it's like one thing on tube here or something. Something to check out, maybe? Potentially? What's this? What to expect if / when Trump gets indicted? Hell breaking loose? Probably. Like, Republicans and right-wing MAGA chuds going literally unhinged and being like, yo, it is time now, patriots. Honestly, I guarantee you they probably would do that. They're probably like, patriots, it is time for us to truly rise up and protect our dear leaders. I mean, it won't go far. Yeah, Georgia infrastructure. Woo, Georgia infrastructure. Being totally modern and up to date. Woo! There. We'll check this out. Then I'll head off to the pub. Then come back later. Maybe.
2023 is quickly approaching, and this
Jesus,
year
Mike.
is going to be really
Why are you always so damn loud?
interesting, I guess you could say, because this is the year where we are really entering uncharted territory, or we could be entering uncharted territory because Donald Trump could be indicted. Now, this is not a foregone conclusion. There are many legal experts, however, that do anticipate his indictment, and even some GOP strategists are fully
I
expecting.
don't want to imagine the kind of shit caked into the sewer pipes in my complex. Oh, God. I can only imagine, bro.
So in the event this unprecedented event happens, what can we expect?
I think it's because he's so soft-spoken. I mean, I guess.
Important. And Politico's legal affairs columnist Renato Mariotti, who also happens to be a federal prosecutor, gave us some insight as to what we can expect.
Doesn't sound like it, though.
The you'll have is, assuming that he is indicted, how long will it take for him to potentially be prosecuted, and will that take place before the 2024 election? Because, like it or not, that is approaching in about 2 years. He explains after an indictment, the process would slow down. Typically, defense counsel get months to review evidence, and in a case involving so many classified documents, that could be a slow process. The defense will file motions, which the judge could take months to consider. Trial would likely be 12 to 24 months.
It always sounds like he's about to cry. It makes me sad. I mean, he just kind of has that, like, soft-spoken gay voice, honestly. And yeah, there is kind of a sense of, like, you know, there's like a level of, like, of the tone of that voice that does make it kind of sound like one is legit about to cry. But, I mean, if anything, honestly, like, I'm so used to it at this point where it's just like, I mean, I can kind of tell when he's generally, you know, kind of, you know, on the verge of probably, you know, about to cry level. And
range that would cover
if anything, I can kind of tell when he's actually kind of pissed or kind
Trump
of
has a right to a speedy trial, a trial in 70 days or less from indictment. Most criminal defendants waive that right and drag out the process. When I was a federal prosecutor, some defendants created enough delay to drag the process out for years before trial. Given the circumstances, however, I think most judges would likely ensure that a trial was scheduled well before the end of Biden's term to
tighten this around like Shamog.
reduce the impact that a criminal trial would have on the 2024 election. So we're going to see a bit of a tug of war. Trump and his team will likely try to drag this out, whereas the legal system, judges will acknowledge that this is a very important case, and this is one of the leading 2024 presidential contenders, so this can't be postponed until after the election. It needs to happen quickly. So will it happen before the election? That honestly is an open question. And it's hard to...
You know, honestly, I have a feeling that I think that's kind of a coin toss. I think there's a chance that it can, just so it, you know, might potentially stop him from being able to run. But at the same time, it's like that might also make it easier for someone like DeSantis to just kind of have a slam dunk at that point. So I feel like, there's an element where they might just hold off, just to kind of see what happens with the nominee or the primary process in the Republican Party, to kind of like make that call. So I feel like it's honestly going to be still before the election, but I think it's going to be after the Republican primaries. That's my guess. I feel like an indictment is going to come out during that time, which I guess we won't find out until the very early beginnings, possibly, of 2024, like late 2023. Like, we're not really going to find out anything about that for like a literal full fucking year.
It's not like we're going to see the
bureaucracy. Woo!
Assuming that
awesome. Good shit.
And then there's going to be this really slow, quiet period to where a lot of Americans can probably move on and put that behind them and forget that he's indicted. So now another question is, how is this going to affect his 2024 run? Politically, that's an entirely different question. You could argue that it would help him because it would galvanize the base, but you could also argue that it would hurt him because individuals like Ron DeSantis could make the electability argument. But legally, how does this affect Donald Trump? Will an indictment stop him from running? Short answer is no. Trump would not be sentenced until months after his conviction and could potentially remain out of prison pending appeal. But a conviction or even imprisonment would not bar Trump from running for president. The Constitution sets the requirements for presidential candidates, and a clean criminal history is not one of them. Some have wondered if a convicted but still unsentenced Trump could be inaugurated and assume control of the Oval Office. While presumably that could occur, the imposition of a sentence of imprisonment...
I mean, honestly, technically that has been theorized in the past. I mean, actually, literally from the opposite side of the political aisle with Eugene Debs, because he actually ran for president and actually got a pretty decent amount of the vote while literally in prison. So, I mean, it is, like, honestly, I think he got, like, 18% of the vote or some shit like that in the general election under the Socialist Party while convicted. So, I mean, it's, like, straight up. I mean, so I think, honestly, all in all, that, like... I think it is a possibility of open, like, legal discussion. Like, and I think, it has been probably, theorized and talked about in the past. But, it just hasn't really been a thing of discussion up until this point again, I guess. Maybe last time would have been, like, Nixon, maybe, I guess.
President is almost too bizarre to even contemplate and would certainly raise constitutional issues that the Supreme Court would ultimately resolve. So for individuals who are hoping that Trump wouldn't be able to run for president because he'd be in prison, odds are that's not going to happen.
And also, I mean, legally there's an argument to be made that you can still run for president while in prison because, again, Eugene Debs. Like, he's, like, the main example that, I could think of right off the top of my head who actually had support, while also being in prison, while running for president. So, I mean, like, it's... I think, legally there is an argument to be made that he could. Like, Trump could run for president, like, in, a prison cell. I don't honestly, I think that will ruin his chances, but for someone like a Eugene Debs character, even in today's circumstance, I think in a way it probably could help to an extent because of, like, an argument to be made of the unjust, legal system, wrongfully convicting him. But obviously, this is not a Eugene Debs type of guy. This is Trump. Like, he should be in prison, and, if anything, it might help his base, but, like, it's not going to help his chances of literally anybody else. And his base is already starting to be slowly but surely siphoned by DeSantis anyway. So, I mean, that's not a position Trump wants to be in. He's not Eugene Debs.
2024 election, it's around 2020.
Wait, what? The weirdest shit happened a minute ago. I sneezed, turned into a cough. I was about to sneeze, and for some reason I decided to become a cough. Damn. No, someone with tragic cough drop accident. It's me. I like how they taste.
Could get dicey
or the addiction.
Assuming the legal system.
Honestly, that's not a bad thing to be addicted to.
Renato is anticipating here. But the fact that we're even talking about all of this and asking these questions truly shows you how insane the American political system has become, how insane, more specifically, American politics has become. We're even forced to ask these questions. And one thing that is...
These questions have been pondered before, though, Mike. I mean, I don't think he knows about Eugene Debs or who that is, so I think he's just, unaware of that. But, I mean, honestly, though, like, those questions and these type of things, have been pondered before. I mean, have they, has it basically been a long time since it has? Yeah, but nonetheless, I mean, like I said, I think the closest it probably, would probably be during the Watergate scandal and shit, because, Nixon was already in office at that point. And, so it's just like, I mean, that'd be the closest, thing I could think of, but obviously he would be impeached and indicted and all this other shit, like, so even then it's different. So the only one I can think of would be Eugene Debs, unless there's, like, somebody else in American history that, had a similar situation like him, but I think he's honestly the only one, at least that I'm aware of.
Should be considered outside of these legal questions is, how is this going to impact Donald Trump? Because I think that all of us can anticipate him getting even more deranged as the walls close in on him. So this is something that will be certainly interesting to watch.
Because he's releasing goddamn, like, fucking NFT trading cards.
But regardless if he is or isn't indicted, that has yet to be seen. But it's going to be a shit show either way, because if he is indicted, him and his Republican cronies are going to fight back and screech and claim to be the victims. But if he's not indicted, then I think that even the people who still have faith in the American judicial system are going to lose hope. They're going to see, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that elites, they can break the law, and they just get away with it, right? Peasants are held to a very different standard than elites. We have a two-tier justice system, effectively. And so when somebody is so brazen about the crimes that they've committed, if that doesn't lead to an indictment and prosecution, then that in and of itself will very much delegitimize the system. So either way, 2023 is going to be interesting, and we've all got to buckle up, because this is going to be a shit show that all of us are going
Buckle up, buckaroos.
To be likely glued to. And I, for one, am dreading it, because all of the stress that's going to come with this is probably going to be non-stop. But either way, it'll be entertaining at a minimum. So look out, folks. 2023, with Donald Trump possibly being indicted, is going to be very, very interesting.
I'm here for it. I'm here for the roller coaster. Hell, I mean, I'll be an attraction, a part of the roller coaster for all I give a shit. Sexy pilot Mike. I know, dude. Like, dude, yeah, like, I mean, he's got, like, I mean, with that plaid that he's rocking right now, with the drip, like, that's, like, straight up, like, some lumberjack shit going on right there. Like, he took a day off from his lumberjack job, and now he's, doing his little sideshow, where he's, doing podcasts. But that's very common up here in Portland, and the PNWs have the lumberjack fit. Buckle up, boys. We're in for some major turbulence. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, because we're about to hit some very severe turbulence. Here. Let's see if there's anything else I could probably check out when I come back. Honestly, just a couple things. Right-wing libertarian, classical Gen Z conservatives. Oh no. This is actually a short one. Yeah, fuck, we'll just do this real quick. It's a shorty. I love Smith so much, I have an Adam Smith sticker on my phone. Oh god. I just want the trains to run on time. How's that okay, whatever.
Dude. If there's one universal value about politics that you can ascribe to fucking conservatives, young conservatives are permanently unfuckable, dude. I swear to God. It's just like, This hit like the gamut, okay? This hit like every type of young conservative, and it's universal. Even if you go to the fucking Oibrob land, if you go to UK, just absolutely the most unfunny.
I'm trying not to choke on this. Fuck. I should have paused.
Unfuckable weirdos, dude. The train comment was a weird dog whistle. Oh, you fucking brain-broken leftist weirdo. They're in the UK. He thinks privatization is the best way to ensure that the railroads are running on time.
And to union boss to make sure that the workers just suck it up and just take their little bare pittance. We should do what America has and have like the one sick day, a year type of thing. Yes, I say what? I just want the trains to run on time, yes.
Every fucking leftist is like, oh, there must be a Nazi dog whistle hidden in there. No, it's not. The train running on time is not a dog whistle in that situation. They're most likely talking about the RMT strike and the fact that in the UK trains are never on fucking time.
Hey, the light rail trains, when it comes to public transit, are never on time around here either. Or barely.
The privatization, by the way, which is, yeah, it's more of a dog whistle to Thatcher.
Ew. Who'd want to dog whistle that, let alone blowhorn Thatcherism? Ew. Gross.
Oh, alright, well, you're British anyway, so, I mean, that's the one country where, like, England is so libertarian coded, you know what I mean? Especially on the Tory side, so. Twitch streamer saw no one treats himself to expensive dinner tonight in LA. Still no word on the dinner with his fans at Olive Garden, which was planned months ago. No, it was never planned. That's a lie.
Were those only Tic Tacs?
I love you, but
just a short little burst.
Literally what the Nazi said. I was a Nazi.
Just a short little burst of them. I like how they're all just like, yeah, I'm just this and not gonna explain why. The only one that kind of barely did was just like the Adam Smith class lib weirdo, and then I want trains to run on time because workers are wanting too much. Like, there was like only two dudes who like basically had anything that was like substantive when it came to like, oh, well, you're politically. It's like, oh, I'm this because I generally believe this or something. It's like, I expect at least, I mean, it's a Tic Tac. I mean, who am I kidding? It's a Tic Tac. There's not exactly a lot of, like, how long are TikToks usually? Like, what? Like, are they just 1 minute? Because if that really is, and it's like, you can barely, like, I mean, it's no wonder, like, I mean, they're so short and to the point and, like, barely can fit info in there. It's just like, Jesus. So I guess there's, like, little TikTok vid threads, I guess, when it's, like, part 1, 2, 3, 4, and all this other shit. Because, like, you can barely, if you have to explain something, you have to basically do it in multiple parts. It's like Twitter, but videos. Like, ugh. And then it's all just in vertical. Like, they just, like, forced that on everybody and just made that normal. Instead of this excellent horizontal, like, superiority, the superior, fucking format. Despicable. But anyway, I think I'll bruv it with the top G's at the pub there. What, mate? The British boy. I know. Poor bits. Those poor British old bastards. Then you hear the uns music as he buttons his shirt. Oh, with Mike Figure, yeah. Oh, definitely. Like, he definitely, goes to some raves every now and then. Honestly, if I went to some Portland raves, I bet I probably would unintentionally run into him. But anyway, I'll bruv it with the brevs at the pub there, mate. So, I'll be back a little bit later tonight. Don't know when, but sometime later. So, anyway, peace out. And of course, I'll be back